The Sai youth member, who just returned from a trip to the rural side, reported a water problem. He observed that the village women were carrying large quantities of water pots on their head. They were then trekking huge distances to carry this water. So the team decided to go and visit for themselves. First, they traveled in a small car. Then they stopped where the road stopped. From there on, they had to trek, and more trek for hours. The village they needed to reach was called Sankuparti in the area known as Anantagiri. Oh, what a great sign, they thought. Anantagiri sounds so similar to our own Anantapur. And Sankuparti has Puttaparthi in its name, they thought. The trek was treacherous, over rock, through dense forest. And finally, when they visited, what did they see? Lo and behold, at the edge of this earth, there was Swami himself. Swami's picture was on the door of the village elder. Oh Swami, how great you are. You're there even before we reach. The people here were not conventional rural villagers. They were tribals. The tribals were much poorer and they lacked exposure and literacy. The survey continued. The only source of drinking water was a polluted water hole in the mountains. But even that water was highly contaminated. It had bacteria, mud, worms. It was definitely not drinkable. Most of the villagers had to trek to water holes like these to get their water supply. They would then carry this huge load on their head over rock, through jungle to get to their humble dwellings. Malnutrition was everywhere. Medical treatment was rare. They had vices and addictions. It was clear that this area could use some help. They designed a simple system for the water supply. First, they would collect the water from natural springs and rainwater. This would be the water collection sump. From this sump, which would be on the mountain top, they would draw a pipeline to a mid-level storage water tank. From this mid-level water storage tank, they would draw pipelines to the local villages. At the local village, they would then install a smaller tank to receive the water. All this using natural resources and gravity. This simple design grew. They started tapping the mid-level storage tank for more local tanks. More smaller tanks got set up. More villages were served. As per the design, the water collection sumps were constructed near the natural springs and mountain tops. From the top of the mountain to the bottom, to the mid-level, through dense forest, they had to draw the pipeline. And then they had to build the local water tanks. But this work was neither simple nor easy. Ground was never even. Shifting of the materials was never easy. Tribals too got involved. First 8 Sai youth, then 100, then coupled with the local tribals, it was a huge team that started getting involved in this project. They had to carry the material over damaged roads and failed bridges. When they laid the pipeline, they had to dig deep and they had to lay the pipeline for several kilometers. As the areas were remote, no expert would come on their treks. No worker would easily cooperate. So our youth had to learn these skills. They had to learn plumbing. They had to learn masonry. They had to learn to work with steel. And this learning, they taught to the local tribal. Because when it comes time to maintaining these systems, the tribals had to take care of it themselves. Few kilometers of pipeline became tens of kilometers of pipeline. Few liters of water became hundreds and thousands of liters of water. More pipeline, more water tanks, more villages, more inaugurations. The organization was there to support. More inaugurations attracted the attention of the villagers. The villagers thronged. They came in hundreds. They came to help. They came to celebrate. They came to sing and dance. Overall, over 220 water projects were done. Bhagwan guided the youth in public, in darshan. He spoke to them. He spoke to them through the speeches and through the books. The youth were motivated by learning and reading Swami literature. The project also got transformed. From simple water project, they started including Balavikas training for the children. Small makeshift Sai centers were established. Bhajans started to take place. The tribals themselves constructed their own Sai kutirs. The youth started distributing stationery. They started distributing blankets. They started distributing solar lamps. They did tailoring camps. Slowly, our Sai youth started holding medical camps. And those who were very severe, they were brought to the city for medical treatment. The tribals themselves got transformed. For this last 90th birthday, 1,500 tribal youth volunteered to come and help in the celebrations. Thank you, Swami. Thank you, Swami, for teaching us these valuable lessons and giving us these opportunities to serve. We pray that you give us more strength and more energies to take up activities like this.